Hi, welcome to Apart View video tutorials. This video tutorial will be shown to you by Dave. He will take you through a step-by-step procedure in repairing this appliance.
This tutorial is on how to change the pump on a Hotpoint WF000 washing machine, but the procedure is very similar on most Hotpoint, Creda, Indesit and Arista models as well. Before you attempt any repair on a domestic appliance, switch it off from the power supply and remove the plug. If your washing machine still has water in it when the cycle's finished, then you probably have a blockage or a pump fault. The easiest way to determine which one you have is to lower the outlet hose into a bowl, and if the water runs out freely then you have a pump fault. So leave the hose there until the bowl's nearly full. Then to stop the flow, just lift the hose up and hook it back into the standpipe again. Empty the bowl and start again until the drum's empty. Then tilt it forward and rest it on something sturdy like a wall or kitchen unit. It's a good idea to put a towel over the front of the machine when you tilt it forward like this. It saves scratching it or marking the wall. Now you can undo the screws holding the rear inspection panel on. This will give you access to the pump and sump as well as the motor. The pump is held in place by a spring tab or a screw. Depress the tab or remove the screw and slide the pump forward, then lift it out. At this point you'd be advised to slide a bowl under the machine to catch the water that will come out when the hoses are removed. Release the clip holding the sump hose on the pump. These are a nylon male-to-female interlocking clasp. Just lever the centre section out and it will separate from the joint. Make sure the pump is over the bowl before you remove the hose, because water will come out and it's better to come out into the bowl rather than on the floor. Remove the water shield and this will give you better access to the wiring plug. Remove the plug but don't pull on the wires, hold the plug itself. Release the clasp holding the outlet hose onto the pump and pull the hose off. But remember to hold the pump over the bowl because there may still be water in the hose, because some pumps are fitted with non-return flaps that prevent water from coming back into the machine once it's passed through the pump. Or if it's connected to an under-sink waste trap. No water emptied down the sink will flow into the machine. Test the circuit by selecting 200 ohms setting on your meter and touch both terminals on the coil. If like this one you get no reading, then there's a fault and you need to replace the pump. You would test the pump in situ, but I'm testing it now because it's easier to show like this. Use a number 15 Torx bit to remove the 3 screws holding the housing on the motor body. The motors on a lot of the pumps are interchangeable, so you may be able to just change the motor rather than the whole pump assembly. When the screws have been removed, the pump housing just pulls off, but make sure you've made a note where it goes back because you may be fitting a new motor section to the old housing. I'm now removing the rotor purely so you can see what it looks like. They're not a serviceable component, so shouldn't be replaced or repaired. Make sure the seal is clear from grit and any other foreign body before refitting the pump housing, or the pump may leak. Noisy pumps are normally caused by the water getting past the seals on the rotor shaft and damaging the bush type bearing at the back of the rotor housing. These are not repairable either, so once again a new pump would be needed. As you can see, the rotor doesn't spin freely because it's a carbon magnet and only turns in a jerky fashion when not powered up. But this is normal, so don't think the pump's faulty for this reason. I'll be fitting this new pump motor straight onto the existing housing, and I find that if I use the wiring connection as a point of origin for the refitting of the housing, it normally lines up in the right position, because it would normally be on the opposite end to the point where it fixes onto the machine. Ensure the housing is seated fully on the pump motor before refitting the screws, but be careful not to over tighten them because you could strip the thread in the housing. I'm just doing a quick test to make sure it's fine before installing it. Reconnect the wire-in plug, then slot the pump back into the grooves in the base of the cabinet. Make sure it's pushed all the way back because the tab may not lock, or the screw hole won't line up if your pump was held in by a screw. Fit the sump hose and fasten the clamp tie. Now refit the outlet hose and clamp that in place as well. If you don't have the right tools for the job, even just changing a pump can be a daunting task. That's why we also sell tools at apartforyou.co.uk. Refit the inspection panel. This hooks onto the lower edge of the opening, and if not fitted correctly the screw holes won't line up, so you may need to jiggle it about a bit. You can now stand the machine upright and it's ready to be water tested. We hope this video has been of use to you, and remember to shop online at apartforyou.co.uk because this is how we're able to finance making these free videos. Thanks for watching.